What's up, everybody? Welcome. It's time for a little bit of Orange Bloods Live. I'm Jeff Ketchum. That is Chad Hastings. I promise we didn't mean to do the whole like Brothers in Black thing, and yet here we are. It's like we're on the wall, Chad.
Right. We are different kinds of black. I went with Judas Priest black. Which black are you going with today?
Heather bought me this Virgil van Dijk.
Okay.
Like I did not order this.
I like the face on that
picture. She's like, I want that on a shirt for my husband. It's not very comfortable. Can you hear that?
Oh, it's one of those. Yeah, I don't even know how to describe that, but I've had a couple of those shirts where it's like the printing just, I don't know, it looks great, but when you wear it, it has a strange feel to it.
Basically, if I wear it on this show and I can prove it to her, like forevermore, there's proof that I've worn this shirt.
Hey,
maybe I can retire the shirt because it is not the most comfortable thing to just have like this, I don't know. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe to the page. This shirt did not cost $70 million. I can assure you that. No. Jump into the specs chat. We're talking Texas football as we always do. I mentioned yesterday. Oh, and hello, Tex Blonde 05. Good to see you. Good to see Chris Bennett. Good to see everybody who's in there, including Christopher Summers. Who is now Christopher Summers -E1H as opposed to just Christopher Summers. I'm not quite sure what that's about. Did he become a doctor or something?
That's interesting. Or was it one of those where they forced him to change his name? Because he normally has had a picture alongside too. Maybe he's going incognito for some reason.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What I do know, as I said yesterday, we would have a war room at orangebloods.com that I thought that there would be a piece of information in the war room that as soon as Chad saw it, he would know, well, that's a pretty big thing. We will talk about that, even if we don't spend the entire show today talking about money. And because I do feel like it's been a conversation. I was even mentioning this to Chad. This is kind of the exclamation mark on maybe a conversation that we've been having this week, which is Texas has really extended itself to build this roster. And along the way this week, there's been weird stories about Will Muschamp's confirmed money, and Brandon Harris has got a raise to take him from $6 million to $1 million. And so I didn't even remember what day it was. I can't remember if it was Tuesday or Wednesday. It wasn't yesterday, but I had seen a tweet, and it had a list of all of the assistant coaches on the Texas roster, what their combined salary was. It didn't include Brandon Harris, but all those guys combined over $11 million. Sark is just over 11 by himself. He's at 11.05. So when you combine just the coaches' salaries combined, you're over $22 million. If you didn't include Brandon Harris or any of the other support staff, of which you've got, Chris Gilbert and all of these guys are making six figures, and you start adding all of that together. If we just ignore that for a second, coaches, coaching staff, that would leave $47 million in change for players. I'm reminded that a year ago, I had a source very well placed that told me the number was somewhere in between 35 and 40. And when I say somewhere in between, I mean like really in between to truly ballpark it, right? Kirk Bowles had mentioned that he had heard 40, at which point the school pushed back pretty strongly on that we do not have a $40 million roster. But I'll be honest, nobody once ever pushed back or called me out over the 35 to 40.
Yeah.
And so knowing that the staff cost 22 plus, and that you could get to 70, which I've never heard before. I think Texas has the most expensive coaching staff in the country. I'd need to go back, and I may do that this weekend. I may look at Georgia. I may look at Oregon. I may look at Alabama just to know.
Yeah. But to be fair, Catch, the discussion I think has always been about the players, just the players.
Correct.
I think when I read the War Room and your thought on it, I thought, this is the first time I've heard somebody put those together, the players and the coaches' money all together.
Well, because I'm trying to reverse engineer my way into when I asked 70, I don't know what I thought the players' number would be. Mm-hmm. But when I asked add all that up together, will the number go beyond 70? And I got back a yes. Then I was like, well, what does that mean, right? And then I had somebody on Orange Bloods make a comment that I needed to position by position break down what I thought the allocation of dollars on the team was. And I was just like, oh my God. What do you I don't know that I can do that, but I've been thinking about all the different ways to try to get an idea of what it would mean, right? So I got 70 confirmed. And then what I tried to do is take as much weight off as I could to see what would be left. 47 million, approaching 50 million for a team. Well, I don't know that. I mean, 2 years ago, Ohio State, the number was 25-ish. Remember that?
25 to 30 was the discussion we probably had. Yeah.
And Texas very privately was like, well, I don't know that they outspent us. We're in the kissing cousins range of expenditures. They just don't make a big fuss about it. Last year, it went up. To what degree, nobody will just completely come out and say, but I can ballpark it a little bit. Well, now if we know that the math is what the math is, 47 and some change, up from, let's say, 37 and some change, maybe a ballpark of about a 20 to 25% increase without having to factor in, again, Brandon Harris. That's $1 million right there. So now you're down to 46 and change. And now if you start to take in the Chris Gilberts and the scouts and everything else, you might get down to like 45 and some change. Then you look at if we think that the number was 37-ish last year, and now you look at the cost of business in college football and what Texas did in the portal, just to give everybody an idea, without going player by player, because it's hard to know exactly what Cam Coleman got. It's hard to know exactly what Rasheem Biles got. We can pretty safely report that the two Michigan guys that Texas didn't get were in the 1.5 range. $600,000 or $700,000 more than Michigan ends up offering them, right?
Wow. Those two guys would have been three, you're saying.
Three by themselves.
Yep.
So when we talk about Siani and what would it have cost to get Melvin Siani into the portal, you can kind of ballpark what the ballpark spend was going to take to try to get guys into the portal, out of the portal. We know they got big name. We know they went out and got Hollywood Smothers away from Alabama after the kid already enrolled in classes. So that wouldn't have occurred cheaply. You know that they're returning a lot. I mean, you do get a guy like Anthony Hill that goes off the books. There are guys that went off the books, but this is a program that's having to spend more money. It doesn't feel like you've got to go very far to go, 45, 46, 47. You feel like an auctioneer. I don't have a confirmed number in place. Wouldn't shock me if the number's 50, though. And combined with 20 plus million, we've reached a point where a very ballpark-ish, right? If we just ballpark it and say it's definitely within, I think, 5 million either way of that number. Definitely 65. Could be 75 or beyond. We are in this threshold of college football where that's about the yearly cost of doing business. I think it's really interesting because when I think the people at Texas thought the cost of business was going to go down. I think they believed, and this is going to really lead into what you're about to ask. They thought that the Deloitte or Deloitte, did we ever confirm which one it is?
I've always heard Deloitte. You're the only person I've ever heard say Deloitte.
Well, we know it's Deloitte then. I think they thought there'd be a lot of teeth in that, and now it's going to be a little bit more, not everything just gets checked at the door or gets let through the door. But it hasn't been that way. And I think Texas's response has been, okay, well, these are the rules. These are the rules. Then let's just go get our guys. And so I think there was a thought that this thing might creep backwards towards 25, 30 million. And it's done kind of the opposite. It's actually the amount that I think they thought it might go backwards. It's probably more than that gone forwards. And I don't think these numbers are crazy. I don't think Oregon's far away from that. It makes me wonder because I think the player rosters are going to be comparable within, let's say, 5 million of each other. If you're thinking about Ohio State, Georgia, Georgia didn't go crazy in the portal in part because it cost a lot of money to retain the players that they had. Everybody, I think, is going to be in the $40 to $50 million range from at the top of the food chain because everybody's got between 15 and 18 in revenue share that's helping pay the bill. So if your number last year was ballpark 35, but now you've got revenue share, well, now that number comes down to 20. And it does feel like, okay, well, if we did 35 a year ago and now we're down to 20, we know we can get to that number comfortably in a number of different ways. What's that caused everybody to do? Everybody's still spending approximately the same money that they did a year ago, but now they've got this super juice of the revenue share that makes all this much more open and above the board. And the conversations don't really happen in private and sneaky. And, well, we couldn't talk to the guy about it while he was on his visit because that's against the rules. Well, now the revenue share has made it so that these conversations are happening in real time all the time. Everybody feels pretty open about the conversations. And I think everybody's foot is on the gas, probably none more so than the Texas Longhorns.
Chance for that all gas, no brakes thing to really come through. We do see some super chats already starting to come in. Jump in on this conversation. To me, this conversation goes to one spot, Longhorn fans, and you ought to be so thrilled on this Friday that things are headed this way. We'll get into it a little further. Right now, though, let's take a breath. Let's hear from AV Consultations. We found Harrison Ford, we found Blue Streak, and I found Baker Mayfield last time. See who you can find.
Hi, this is Tom McKay, owner of Audiovisual Consultations. We've been providing custom electronic systems for Central Texas for more than 36 years. And
old man, I think they all know who you are and what your company does. This is Camilla McKay. The old man believes in big fun and big ideas. He can make dreams come true, so why not dream big? I've been up in Boston, but I know the old man and all his friends and fellow radio heads have been spreading the holiday spirit here in Texas. Why should we stop there? Keep spreading the good feelings all over. Audiovisual Consultations carries all major brands of televisions and stereo equipment at prices you can't find in stores. And you don't have to leave your house. Just like Santa, they deliver the gifts to you.
Yeah, I like that, kid. Throw a party, hang out with your friends, catch a concert.
That's all fun and good, but can we get back to the business? You can give us a call at 512-255-8678 or visit our website at avconsultations.com for some cool electronics.
Oh, now you're forgetting something.
And as always, hug your kids. We only pretend to be annoyed. Watch some games with your friends and make love to whoever the hell you want.
Pedro Martinez, Wonder Woman, and Superman. I saw all of them that time through. All right, we got a couple of super chats. There's an extra super chat that just came in. Heartbeat. I saw that. Let's start with this one. One more chance. Send us a $5 super chat. Thank you. Last year, how much of the 35 to 40 were in the too deep? If it's around 45 mil this year, then what do you expect?
First of all, my opinion, I think the number may be north of 50. But I'm saying that we can get to 70 with as low of a number as that. And when compared to what I think they were doing a year ago, it's pretty easy to get to that number. But all I can tell you is it's at least that. Whatever else beyond is a little bit subjective on my part. How much of it was on the too deep? It's hard to say. I think Texas had been really frustrated, certainly last year. Last year, they had the biggest set of expenses for a season yet. Too much of it was going into that freshman class that really did not contribute in a meaningful way towards the season. We saw that change recruiting immediately. You can make a case that they were throwing national top 250 guys off the boat like there was a leak. And really good players, not guys that were scrubs at all. In fact, the highest rated guy that signed on signing day in February was Dylan Berryman, who was I think in the end ranked 150 nationally-ish and like the rivals industry number, the merger of all those services together. I mean, that was a Texas commitment at defensive tackle where they were just like, look, we're not going to have guys sitting on the bench anymore for 2 or 3 seasons who are cashing paychecks when that money could be helping us win. Like, they're still learning. I think last year, well, let me think about it.
While you're thinking, Catch, there's another super chat that goes right to it. Yeah, Heartbeat wanted to know, can you ballpark the amount of money you think was on the bench last year compared to this year?
Significantly more last year. I mean, it really comes down to what do we think? I don't know. Let's say $10 million. I don't know. Like, it's that basically the entire freshman class. So
right.
Justice Terry, we know by himself cost 1 point something. Now, he played some towards the end of the season, but we could, even as much as we like Justice Terry and think that that guy might still be a star, that think that that guy might be a starter this as soon as this season, that's 1 point something that just didn't get on the field. Now you can take all of those receivers, add those, just the receivers and Justice Terry together. I mean, you're probably not far. I think you're probably above $3 million just in 2 or 3 guys, 4 guys. Now, what did you pay Jonah Williams? What happened there? You just start going player by player, and you know that the $1 million mark is no longer the forbidden fruit in college football, or at least at Texas. Chad and I were literally doing shows 2 years ago, not even 2 years ago, probably 18 months ago, 20 months ago, where certainly before the DeCorian Moore recruitment came to a head, right? Before DeCorian Moore's situation occurred, we were not sure whether or not Texas would go north of $1 million in its efforts to go after a guy. DeCorian Moore was the first guy, if my memory serves me correct. I mean, it's possible that I'm forgetting somebody, but DeCorian Moore, Fasusi and DeCorian Moore were the 2 guys we talked about all year long about what would the number be, how high would they go. In the end, they offered DeCorian Moore 1 point something, which at the time I was told was like incrementally larger than Oregon. The money was considered kind of a wash. I've never once, Texas fans wanted to point to Oregon like they were the boogeyman. And I think we can safely say, guys, come on, man. 2 years later, when's Texas been getting outbid for guys? Like, I know Texas fans wanted to point to Oregon in the DeCorian. It was easier to believe that Oregon and Phil Knight was Satan than it was that DeCorian Moore just didn't want to go to Texas more than he wanted to go to Oregon. But that's kind of what happened. It's kind of what happened with Michael Fasusi. Texas is not getting outbid on guys. And if you think I'm wrong, man, just who?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying they're bidding the most on every guy, because Chad and I had a conversation yesterday. Like, I don't know ultimately with KJ Edwards last year when he picks Texas A&M. I don't know that Texas made its move yet with a running back decision. I think they really thought Crowell's the guy they wanted. They didn't do anything money-wise really with anybody else. You'd even point this year, I think, Jason Sukumel, Chad, and I had this conversation. And this is at the spirit of the questions that Heartbeat 10 and a couple of others asked in the super chat, Chad. They've got a guy. So they've got Easton Royal committed. Number 1 wide receiver in the country. He's from the state of Louisiana. I think we all know that LSU is going to make their run when it's all said and done. And yet he is kind of the prototype for what, if you were to draw up in a lab, what Steve Sarkeesian would want in a wide receiver prospect. He's kind of the dreamboat guy. So whatever that's going to be is whatever that's going to end up being the final number. I have no idea. If you told me today, though, that the number's $3 million, that will not shock me if in the end, wherever Easton Royal goes, it's for $3 million a year. Mark Bowman, a tight end, is getting 2.7 from USC. We're just not that far from these types of numbers being the numbers. If 2 years ago, $1 million was the threshold, it feels like 2 million was the threshold this year. And it feels like maybe 3 million is the threshold next year. Who knows? Maybe it does regress a little bit eventually, but we haven't seen that yet. I think Texas knows. Well, one thing we're not going to do, we could have given all that money to Decorian Moore, and what do? We decided we're going to break it up and try to go get Jamie French and Khalik Lockett and Dalen McCutcheon, and 3 at the cost of 1 is the way to go. And then 12 months later, they're like, that didn't work out. Go, one guy already left. They paid Jamie French 5-star money or high 4-star money for 1 season where he basically didn't catch a ball.
And
now
they also
off to Michigan, wasted dead money on your cap. So
and I assume they also peeked in on an Oregon game or two.
When Decorian Moore was healthy, he was Oregon's best wide receiver. Mm-hmm. Although, to be fair, when Evan Stewart misses the entire season, boy, Oregon's wide receiving unit could be kind of salty this year if they get everybody back and healthy. And oh, by the way, their quarterback, Dante Moore, is back. Maybe don't sleep on the Ducks, who, by the way, now have the most talented roster in college football. Although Evan Stewart keeps getting counted as a super blue chip, he just keeps on playing college football. Like they thought they had him for a year. It's year 3. But Texas is recruiting a bunch of wide receivers. In fact, Julian Caldwell is like one of the guys they're going to bring in. He is a national top 200 kind of a guy. He's going to have a bunch of money thrown his way. And one of the things that I keep telling Jason is until Easton Royal is decided, I don't expect them to offer a damn dollar to anybody else. Like, they may like wide receivers, and Chris Jackson may be whispering in the ear of 10 of them, telling them, I want to go steady with you. And he might. But Chris Jackson does not cut checks. Chris Jackson does not have to do the thing that these assistant coaches oftentimes tell these kids are going to get done. Oh, man, we got you taken care of. The money will be there. Just wait. We'll have the money conversation. And when the money conversation takes place, it'll be good. I want you to be a Longhorn. Know that. Okay, well, that's not how college football works in 2026. And that's how college football worked a little bit more in 2025. And look where it left Texas, grumbling all season about the hell did we do with this investment into this freshman class? We went 9-3 and didn't make the playoffs. If we bought 2 more players in the portal and 2 less in recruiting from high school, the whole season might have turned around, especially if those 2 were offensive linemen. Feel like just pimp slapping some people right now over that. Just one little important critical detail. So I think you look at what they did last year, guys, and you look at what they're doing in recruiting, and I think you're kind of all in on Easton Royal. And if they get to November and it's like, Jesus, $3 million isn't enough to get Easton Royal. LSU went to 4, and we're just not going to do it, right? They just decide there's got to be a limit, damn it, until next year when we decide that 4 is okay.
That'd be a limit for now.
It's got to be a limit for the next 15 minutes. Then I think the move is to do what they did at running back last year, Chad, and it worked for them. What was the running back move last year when Xavier Crowell, their number 1 guy, was like, Alabama, holla? Texas decided to do what?
Pay big to Cooper.
And Cooper, who didn't have Texas in his top 5, was he receptive to receiving the most money from Texas of anybody that he was talking to?
Yes, he was.
And I think Texas is now okay with, you know what, we do love Caldwell. Like, we love him. And if we don't spend $3 million on, hey, if we get some kind of weird ass discount, if Easton Royal's like, hey, I love the money, but I want to win a national championship more than anything. Take 1.5 of my money and give it to another wide receiver so that we can have the Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith wide receiver. If out of the goodness of their heart, somebody says, I'll just take half of what you're offering, then maybe Texas can go out and spend another 1.5 on another wide receiver. But I really do think we are at a point now where the answer is going to be not only will there not be money on the bench, Texas will spend more money to make sure if they're going to go get a guy. Let me tell you this, Chad. You think Eastern Royal starts as a true freshman?
Yeah.
Has to. That is the new. This is where the NFL and college football, I think now, will be more alike than ever before. In the NFL, you got to play your first round draft picks unless they're quarterbacks. If the Cowboys draft an edge player, where do we pick, Chad?
Oh, it's 12?
Like if we pick 12,
11, 12, 13, somewhere in there. Yeah.
If we pick 12 and then that guy doesn't start on opening day.
Oh God.
You're just like, and you can't be like, well, we drafted a wide receiver and we still have our No.
It'd be a bad draft. Only an injury should create that. That's it. That's the only reason that they shouldn't play.
You draft the starters. In fact, you really think that way kind of about second round picks too.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on how good of a team you are, a lot of teams will feel like third round guy, maybe he's eventually a starter, but like that guy's on the express bus to starting for us.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see situations now, and I think we'll see it this year. Like, look, man, Atkinson at linebacker. You probably got paid more than any linebacker in the country. He's certainly in the conversation. I don't know who got more at linebacker, but Texas went after Atkinson, and Atkinson commits to Texas. Nobody comes within a 10-foot pole, it doesn't seem like, of what Texas put in front of him, a la Derek Cooper. But the pressure that goes with that now is, yeah, man, he better be good enough to start, play a lot, can't be one of these guys that sits on a bench. And so I don't think you're going to see Texas make $1 million offers move. And so I don't know that Texas will ever again have the number one high school recruiting class in the country, because there will be very few times where Texas looks at their roster and thinks we need 10 guys to start next year. They're going to stop themselves. They will. They'll go, whoa. I know we've got 3 wide receivers in the Nationals top 65. All of them have a 5-star ranking. But how are they getting on the field? Because we're paying a bunch of other guys a bunch of money too. Are we rendering Emmett Mosley like useless? Because that guy's getting paid. So I think we're just on the precipice of it, Chad. This is more professional football-ish, not with the money. We've been there. But in terms of not everybody can get it. The bottom of the roster, you got to have a bunch of 7th round. You need some undrafted free agents to make the team. And I think they're going to be more selective than they've ever been before at a single position. And they'll say, that's our guy. Why do we think that guy's our guy? Because we're going to depend on him to start right away, or at the very least play a hell of a lot of snaps. And if they're not good enough to do that, I just don't think Texas is ever going to bother again. That will be the difference. Only quarterbacks and offensive linemen may get a free pass. Everybody else is going to have to carry their weight. Because look, Justice Terry, I think everybody thinks is going to be a dynamite player. But there's no getting around the fact that they had to have rethought. They had to have asked themselves, was there a better, who they could have gotten last year had they not spent the money on Justice Terry? In theory, they could have signed David Bailey. They were willing to go pretty high for Bailey. They would have broke $1 million. They could have. I don't think they wanted to pay him more than Colin Simmons, so maybe they weren't going to break 2. But if they were of the mindset now, then they might have said David Bailey is the best edge player in the country that's available. All right, $3 million. That's what Tech did. They got him, and he won All-America honors and led Texas Tech to the playoffs. And I do think that that's a lesson that Texas paid attention to, which was David Bailey visited us And when he told us the number, we slapped our knees in laughter. But you know who's slapping their knees in laughter right now? Texas Tech. Because they spent $3 million and got an All-American, and we spent how much money and didn't get dudes playing at all. And I think we've seen that attitude adjustment take place. Just look at the portal.
All right, let me give some of our sponsors some love, and then we will get to this super chat that I need some explanation on. First off, shout out to
the Aggie-related one?
It is. I think.
Pay a bill and let's come back and do that.
I'm glad you saw it that way because I thought I was going crazy. Shout out to the Deep Eddy Vodka Tasting Room. A little bit of cooler weather right now. Double check your weather. They've got that great indoor area. If it's good weather outside, they've got those lovely scenic views for you outside as well. They've got the vodka. They've got the barbecue. Go check them out. Also, remember Hijack Poker all over the state of Texas. You can play online, just like Mr. Ketchum does. Get the QR code, put it on your device, get to playing Hijack Poker. That other logo you see in the upper right, that would be Specs. And remember, Specs is always ready for you. The wine sale continues until the end of the month.
At Specs, it doesn't cost a lot to turn a good time into a great time. From connoisseur collectors to aficionados of ale, you'll find bubbly bliss at any budget. Because at Specs, the fun starts here.
And again, until the 28th, that wine sale continues if you need a good bottle of wine. So, Catch, when I read this one earlier, Jared sent $1.99. Don't walk on the grass, Catch. Now, when I read the phrase, don't walk on the grass, my agginess comes out. Is Jared being like a little more metaphorical here, or is this like an Aggie reference?
So, Chad, understand this. A poster on Twitter that goes by the handle Top Tier says at Top Tier State. It says hot take, sports news, viral vid sponsored by at Play Brocco. I don't know who it is. The only person that I follow that follows them is Michelle.
Is that right?
Yes.
Nice.
So Michelle maybe can give us all a better idea of like how legit they are. They posted a graphic that said top 20 most dangerous college campuses per the Department of Department of Education. Easy for me to say.
All right.
Let me round off the top 5.
Okay.
Going in descending order.
Most dangerous, starting with 5.
UC San Diego.
Nice. Wow. San Diego. Is that the Gauchos? I think.
No.
Okay. No, that's
maybe.
UC Santa Barbara. UC Santa Barbara is the Gauchos.
Number 4, Grand Canyon.
All right. Because maybe you could fall in. I don't know.
Number 3, Ohio State.
Well, that's just a football Saturday. You're getting beaten up, win or lose. Yeah.
Now that feels like that's real, right?
That's real. Yeah, you're going to get the hell beaten out of you no matter what happens in the game.
Number 2, Cal Berkeley. And look, homeless people in the Bay Area.
Yeah, okay. I wouldn't think of Cal as being that dangerous, but okay. So then what's number 1?
Texas A&M.
What? The most dangerous campus? Do I have to tell my parents they're visiting the most dangerous campus in America 5-6 times a year?
Now look, you can tell how serious I'm taking this poll.
Damn.
I know that it says.
Uh-oh. What? Hold on. Wait. I swear I didn't kick you out. You just disappeared. Go ahead.
I think you know that the level of seriousness, I don't know where I stopped taking the poll serious. Other than the fact, let me give you 10 through 6, okay?
All right.
Washington, UC Davis, USC, UCLA, Utah. Like,
I think I get it.
Is apparently on fire.
That's what's so weird. I think I get it right up until College Station. Like, I think I get the point. You know what I mean? I think I get what's happening with that list and what they mean by the most dangerous campuses right up until College Station.
So
right up until Northgate. That's when I get confused.
Now, look. So what I did was I retweeted that. And look, I'll admit, when did I do this? I did it this morning.
Yeah. By the way, Chris Bennett, I think you're right. The Toreros, I think that's the University of San Diego. That's the Toreros. I think you're right. Yeah.
Man, I did this morning, and it's got like 25,000 views.
Damn. By the way, CB, well done.
But it's not even that. It's not like it's only been retweeted like 3 times and favorited like 80. It's not like it's not gone viral or anything.
Uh-huh.
But I wrote, do, period, not, period, walk, period, on, period, the, period, grass, period.
Yeah. Did the AD get mad at you for that one?
People are mad. Nikki Chickies said that MSC is a memorial for those who died in military service. Sorry if it's an inconvenience to use as a sidewalk.
Yeah, catch.
You could use some more walking, bud, said Austin Wingerson.
How dare you? Some
guy named Daniel was just as a gig'em thumb, and his handle was like, it's a living memorial. Good thing is we don't have to worry about you walking. God damn, people.
What?
Like,
what are we talking?
Guys, I did not It was a joke.
It's jokes. They're jokes. Trying to have some fun.
I literally don't believe it to be true. And forgive me as an outsider for knowing that you guys are sensitive about the grass thing.
And, Ketch, you got to wonder for the list, how much of the danger are they putting there? That can't be the reason, right? Like,
that was just me being a smart ass.
Right, like, Ketch, I've watched people interact. I've been a part of interactions that involve the MSC grass and all that kind of stuff. One of them involved a drunk LSU fan.
You're making this too serious. It's just a joke.
No, it's one of my favorite stories of all time. But my question is, when the committee, whoever decided this, visited the campus, like, what was it? What was the danger part in College Station that got them up to number 1? I got to think the MSC thing was not high on that list.
It's got to be drinking related?
I guess. I don't know. I've gone drinking in College Station plenty of times. I've never felt like I was in danger, ever.
Well.
Not one time.
In
danger of falling down, but that's a different thing.
When did we stop being able to be a country that has fun?
I don't know.
I'm just letting you know, if I had seen that as an Aggie, particularly just ahead of every school on the West Coast.
Right. You get it. No, you should get that. That should be pretty quick. Come on, Army.
I would have leaned into it. I would have leaned into it.
Come on, Aggies.
Nobody wants to have fun. Don't you know it's a memorial? Okay.
Come on, Aggies. I know we're not trained to have fun all the time, but come on.
Can't we just laugh at the absurdity that somebody ranked College Station as the most dangerous?
I just love that A&M and Cal Berkeley are right next to each other on a list of anything.
I don't know that A&M is the least dangerous place. But one of my favorite things was I saw an initial response was like, wait a minute. You can't tell me we're more dangerous than the University of Houston. Somebody was like, that's in one of the wards, isn't it?
So Rex says if you're in Athens, you might get run over. All right, now that's funny. That's funny.
Ooh.
So the
chat, too soon.
The chat is asking where Athens, Georgia is on the list because you do have to have your head on a swivel.
Do you want the rest of the list? There's only 20.
What's the other 10 then?
Number 11, staying out west, Arizona State.
Yeah, keep out those dirty Westerners.
Now look, I can't believe that number 12 is Illinois and not Loyola of Chicago, because isn't everybody shooting everybody in Chicago? Isn't that the only thing anybody ever talks about?
See, I get the Illinois thing because I feel like Illinois and Columbus have the same problem, right? I think those campuses are just fighting campuses.
Hey, number 13, it's time that this school joined the list. Iowa.
Yeah, Iowa. You know You know, all I hear about is the danger. The danger. They always say, hey, when you wave to the kids in the hospital, do it nicely because you're going to end up there because it's a vicious place.
I feel like number 14, you can really give Deion Sanders a little bit of credit here. Colorado has ascended back to 14.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think they were on this list.
My God, have you been to Boulder? The tension in the air.
Well, look, under McCarthy back in the day, they were number 1. Remember, they legitimately were recruiting gangbangers back in the day.
Oh, I mean, now, yeah, it's true. If you could
like, they
combine
literally would do, we did like a 30 for 30 on that team, and somebody was like, yeah, I was a Crip, they were a Blood. Like, there was some hardcore stuff going on there.
Yeah, they were keeping more than promises back then.
Number 15, hey, it's about time. It just means more, means more. Florida, come on down.
There we
the
go.
Legacy
there we go.
of Aaron Hernandez.
By the way,
still, I think, accounting for at least some of theirs.
Is this just 2 members of the SEC so far, Ketch? Just A&M and Florida?
Not just those. There are only 2 SEC schools on the list.
Come on, SEC. Pull your weight. Bring some danger. Well, somebody needs to kick
for Florida and Texas A&M.
Come on, Gainesville. There you go. Thanks
because
for joining
this is
the
conference
show.
that says that it cares more.
Yeah.
And yet, I don't see. Look, 16. It took long enough. What ward is Houston? Is it 3rd ward?
50.
Anyway, University of Houston. Welcome.
There you go. U of H. Okay.
The Greater Houston. Hey, my wife went to Houston. Congratulations, honey. U of H made the list.
There it is. Cougars. All right.
Top 20 most dangerous college campuses.
Damn right. Damn right. All right. Who else? All right. So that's 2 in the state of Texas.
Both their headed and said, I know that's right. One spot, Chad, we're back on the West Coast, and it's about time.
Dirty West Coast.
Number 17, UC Irvine.
Absolutely. Oh, God, you can't hang out with the anteaters. It's the most dangerous place on earth. That's what they say.
And then, honey, you can leave now. And then we round out with the Big Ten. Now, look, we forget Ohio State 3, UCLA 7, USC 8, Washington 10.
Okay. Washington.
Illinois 12, Iowa 13. The Big Ten dominating the most dangerous college campuses list on this U.S. Department of Education.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's all.
It's all those big, bulky trophies, Catch. They'll hit you in the head with like buckets and kegs of nails and stuff. It's really dangerous.
The moment you start winning national championships, your league starts committing crimes.
So who's 20?
Number 18 is Maryland.
Oh, Maryland. Okay.
We finally touched the outer rim of the East Coast.
All right. We finally got over there. Yeah.
Number 19, I've been waiting. Indiana.
How
are they not ahead of Iowa?
Bloomington. Come on. Wearing
and
red
number
and white.
20, Michigan State.
Yeah, that's disappointing for East Lansing. Guaranteed Michigan State fans are pissed about that. They've got to be they're thinking, wait. You got to put us above Champaign. Come on now. East Lansing?
Given this list, I really don't want to see another Chicago joke ever, because there's like 100 colleges in Chicago.
Yeah.
If not even one
that's so funny.
can climb past UC Irvine, then let's stop making Chicago jokes. Clearly, the U.S. Department of Education does not find a single campus in New York, Philly. Baltimore's close to Maryland, so sorry, DC. But Boston, think about all these East Coast cities. Hey, Miami, safe and sound, baby. And I once had a I had a 5-star walking with me on 6th Street. We watched a UT football player walk down the middle of 6th Street at like 3 a.m. This was like 25 years ago. The player got in front of the horse. Have I told you this story before, Chad?
We interviewed the guy on The Outsiders. Yes, I've heard the story. We got the story from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
Well, who's the horse's mouth?
The Ulatowski punched the horse story?
No.
Not Ulatowski. What's his name? Sorry. It's an offensive lineman that punched the horse, right?
No, there was no punch.
Oh, sorry. Different
horse.
story. Sorry, different story with the horse. We talked to who is it we talked to? We talked to the lineman that punched the horse in the face. I believe is the story. Or no, sorry. Go ahead. Tell your story. It might be the same one. Dude, maybe he chewed the horse out. I'll shut up. I'll stop talking.
He screamed in the horse's face.
Yes.
I'll block any motherfucker in the country.
That's it. That's the story. Yes.
And the guy that was with me was like, Austin really is hell on earth. And because at the time, I want to say that there was a recruit from East Texas that was thinking between Texas and Texas A&M, and the whole thought A&M was selling. City's too bad. City bad. Dangerous. Don't go there. Your little East Texas son will be Sodom and Gomorrah type stuff. And when we saw this particular offensive lineman who was 1 year removed from basically attending like a private school, I kind of felt that way a little bit. But now you don't even make the top 20 most dangerous college campus lists.
Chris Bennett, thank you. My old brain couldn't come up with a name. Yes, we interviewed Tillman about that. Yes.
Tillman knew that story?
Tillman Holloway. Yes. He had to be kind of reminded, but yes. It was a good story.
Tillman, if you're out there, I am sorry that I have regurgitated that story enough times that 25 years later you were asked about it on The Outsiders.
Oh, dude, he knew it. Chance Mott got 6 words into that question, and he knew what was coming.
The thing is, no other players were with me. Nobody else saw that.
He knew.
I've told that story. That is my story.
He knew it was coming.
I love that Tillman. I feel bad. That's how many times I've told that story that now it's like urban legend. Because it was not like he did that in front of a bunch of people. It was 3 a.m. I was coming out of Paradox, I think.
Right.
And you just see some stuff.
Yeah.
That's my story. And if Tillman Holloway remembers that, that's amazing. Because I would have guessed that he was in no shape.
You would have guessed that would not be the case. To be fair, I am not sure if he told us he remembered it or if he told us that he just has probably heard your story enough times that it somehow got back into his brain. All right, we cleaned off the super chats earlier. We will round it out here in just a second. I just want to remind everybody real quick because I am excited. I've told y'all I'm going to Taste on Maine tomorrow. We're going to go celebrate the day my wife and I met. My daughter gets to have this brunch for the first time ever. I don't know if she's having this. Heck, I don't know if I'm having the smash burger, but it's always the first thing kind of on my list. I'm feeling a little more on the lunch side of a brunch. I'm normally a lunch guy when it comes to brunch, not a breakfast guy. So I think that's where I'm going to end up tomorrow. I know I'm going to have the Sam Elliott's mustache, the great whiskey drink. They have great stuff on this brunch. Go try it. The beignets are incredible. The desserts are great. Buddy of mine had the creme brulee last time we were there and loved it. There's just so many good things at Taste on Maine. Go see them in downtown Buda. Got free parking right across the street. Obviously a little cooler weather right now, so take a layer with you. Indoor and outdoor seating. Taste on Maine. The brunch is Saturdays and Sundays, 10 to 3. All right. So, Ketch, I just have one other thing to say on this show today, and it is that Steve Sarkeesian has a chance to land this plane. I think this is a critical moment for Texas. I'll try to say it as quickly as I can, but we are at a point where the question will be asked. Something's going to happen where Steve Sarkeesian has to answer a question that sounds something like this. Coach, they're saying your team was bought. Coach, they're saying that you spent the most money. How do you respond? Something like that. The way he answers it, Ketch, I think is really important. And if he can just own it, if he can pull the wallet out that you always talk about with the bad MF written on it, if he can really do that, then the B Texas thing is officially underway. And I'd tell everybody else to look the F out. But I think Sark's got a chance to answer the question in a way that Jimbo failed to do, and in a way that Kirby did a good job. Kirby nailed the answer, but Kirby ain't Texas. Kirby's Kirby, and he is his own thing. Sark has a chance to answer that question in a big time way and really set this thing on course to where it's going to go. I think that's the next thing to watch.
Sorry, I just saw this came out earlier, completely random. I'll circle back to that, but Kirk Cignetti got a raise.
Did he really?
13.2 annually.
Oh, God. For the Indiana football coach? Good job, Cignetti.
And I think Sark's probably got one of those contracts that, you know what I mean? Like he's supposed to be in the top 5, probably like in the top 5 all the time.
Yeah. I bet there's multiple agents, dinging off of that one, right? Their phones are bing, 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 bing off of that news. Good for him.
Will we be given the money involved in that Cignetti's at 13.2 in early 2026? Buy or sell? Somebody will hit the 20 million mark by 2030.
Man.
I'm going to sell, but I think it's close.
I was going to say, I want to sell, but it's just south of it. It's not quite that. Not quite there. If you had said 2035, yes.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, but nah, just a little. It's going to be a little bit below that. But there you go. Orange Blood's won. Yes. So there you go. That's
as far as Sark goes. These guys are Sark is an old school coach. I think appearance wise, I think we saw it with the way that he even talked about the portal the last time he was talked about the portal. I don't know that he's ready to be the face of, hey, if these are the rules, then we're going to be at the forefront of the rules.
There's a way to answer it, though. He doesn't have to go braggadocious. He just needs to embrace it. Do what Kirby did.
Again, I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe, but every time I've thought Sark might do something like that, he's been resistant. And so
I know.
There have been times I've thought, you know what, today's a perfect day for him to just talk about his general manager. He won't say it. Like every time I think Sark's got an opportunity to do something that's unconventional from what he would normally do, he never does it. Right. So
yeah, and
he's going to get asked the question. I don't know what direction he'll lean in.
We always talk about it. They don't have to talk about anything, but in this case, he'll get asked the question. So you don't have to talk about it, but you have to have an answer. Those are two different things. And Ketch, I would not bring it up if I were him. Don't put it in an opening statement. Certainly don't do what Jimbo did. Let's call a press conference to basically say, nuh-uh, and that guy's a horrible human being. No, not like that. Wait for the question and then and have your answer ready. Ketch, you already said Easton Royal's name today. What if Easton Royal ends up at Texas and Lane Kiffin tells everybody it's because Texas just had more money? And he does it in his snarky Lane Kiffin way at an SEC media day or something like that. Well, then they're going to come to Sark and ask him, hey, Sark, Lane Kiffin today said you bought your team. Lane Kiffin said you bought your wide receiver room. What do you have to say? At some point, Sark just needs to have the response. And if I'm him, if I'm Bianco, if I'm that whole crew over there, I get it crafted and I get it ready. Because I think the answer is really, really important. Do not try to go the other way. Don't try to be too old school. And please don't try to play it's about culture and we really feel like, no, admit it all. Admit
because that's the thing. Sark is still Sark can't help but to be like the key to our success is my culture.
Right. And he's not wrong. He's not
He is wrong.
No, he's not. It's part of it. It's all part of it.
I agree with that, but
he's got to find the answer that incorporates the money, the bag of money, and Culture Wednesdays. Those two things can live together.
Of course, but he wants everybody to think first and foremost, it's about the culture. And it's a joke. It's a joke.
I know. That's what he's got to rearrange. He's got to rearrange it in his mind and embrace all of it. And if it means embrace the money first, then embrace the damn money first. Lean in.
This is still a coaching staff that when they first arrived, they really hated the media saying that Texas got a guy because of money. Because what that meant was it was dismissing all the hard labor and work and recruiting. And it sounded very much like watching Moneyball, where the scouts were like, you can't replicate what we replicate. 30 years watching the sport, watching swings. Not everybody can just come in and sweet talk a guy and make him want to go there. And one of the things that Texas has learned is actually, yeah, you can. Yeah. You can. There are prices where kids that have said it ain't about the money all year long, they make it about the money. And I don't know. Like I think before Sark's career is over, he'll get there. But I think we think that moment has arrived and it's obvious. And I have learned throughout my career that just because we think the time is obvious or, it's got to do it now.
As long as he doesn't get huffy, I think he's fine. Does he have to go all the way? Not necessarily. But again, just don't do it like Jimbo did.
What if Terry reads a song from Culture Club? Come Chameleon. And he's like, Sark.
What if he reads lyrics from Cash Rules Everything Around Me? That'd be even better.
Stay with me.
That'd be better.
Stay with me.
I'm sorry.
Because we got to think about how would Terry ask the question.
Mm-hmm.
And he would say, back in the 80s, there was a song. He'd sing a little bit of the song, and he'd say, Sark, you guys were the Culture Club. But maybe this is where he brings in cream.
Coach, does Cash rule everything around you?
Or are you still a Culture Club guy? Yeah. Are you more 80s pop or are you more 90s rap?
Yeah, because I since we talked about it, Ketch, I went back to that moment in 22-23, right? We were talking about the Aggie 22 class and the Saban comment. Here's what's wild about that. Saban said what he said. Jimbo called a press conference to essentially say, nuh-uh, he's the devil. And at the end of the 2023 season, neither one of them had their job. Jimbo got fired, and Nick just couldn't deal with it anymore. Nick Saban put it on a tee for Jimbo Fisher. He said to everyone, we have to try to keep up with him. And Jimbo didn't know how to take the compliment. All Jimbo had to do was take the compliment and go, hell yeah, we bought guys. Hell yeah, we have opportunities. Jimbo should have done. You can say it however you want, but here's how we look at it. That's what Sark has to do. He has to come up with a good, quick answer on how to reframe it. He needs to say, I would never phrase it that way, but here's what we provide, and then go. That's what he needs to do.
This is what Jimbo should have done. He should have had a prop. Jimbo's press conferences didn't have enough props. When Jimbo gets asked a question, all he does is pull out a brick of cash wrapped in cellophane like you see in the movies.
That would have been better than what he did.
And he just rests his head on it.
God, that would have been way better than what he did. Absolutely.
And it's just like, what were you saying? Right. I can't hear you. I'm resting my head and face on $100,000. And if anybody wants a piece of this, then he should have done? He should have had the brick of cash and he should have come out like it was a boxing fight. Bieber should have been there. Right. Bieber, Mayweather, I don't know, whoever he could get to just come out and be like screaming like $100 bills, y'all. Like, I don't know, like whatever.
Yeah. And by the way, I love this chat. It's just wrong. NIL wasn't legal yet when Jimbo signed that class. LOL. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. It absolutely was. NIL started in 2021. And when you think about where Texas was at the time, you think about where Bama was at the time, nobody took it for what it was, Ketch. Nick Saban was sending a signal to everyone in that room. And the signal was, oh my God, we have to figure out a way to keep up with who?
I always thought that Nick
Texas A&M. He was saying it clearly, and Jimbo did not know how to take advantage of that.
The message wasn't about A&M that day. It was about Alabama. What Nick was trying to do was tell his constituency, we're not going to keep winning championships
Mm-hmm.
if Texas A&M is just going to slap us around in recruiting. That was for his constituency. That wasn't Nick clutching at pearls because money was suddenly involved in college athletics. This was Nick Saban clutching his pearls that Alabama wasn't at the top of the food chain when it was legal to do so, like they were when it was illegal to do so.
Yeah, and all Jimbo Fisher had to say was, "I'm glad Nick is noticing. Next question." But he didn't. He called a press conference to bitch.
I hope next year we got more money to pay guys.
Exactly. Like I always go back to one little weird story in music, but for those that know the band Metallica got accused of selling out at some point. They cut their hair. They started doing more hard rock than metal. But one member of the band would always say, they say we sold out. Yeah, we did. Every seat in the house. And I always thought that's a good way to answer that. Don't know if I totally agree with it, but at least you have an answer. That's what Sark needs. He needs a quick phrase where he can quickly turn it, just like Kirby did. Kirby turned Mark Stoops like that. He turned it in a second and a half.
How about this? Scared money don't make money. And just
exactly. Just something real quick. Kirby talked about the collectives. He immediately said, I get what Mark is saying. He's talking about they're working with their collective. We work with our collective. We try to provide opportunities to kids. It's tough. I can see how it'd be tough for him. And it's kind of tough for us too. And then he moved on. But you're right. That's a good way to say it. Scared money don't make money. Whatever phrase he wants to come up with. Say we're Texas. Go back to DeLoss Dodds and we're the Joneses. Whatever it is, I would just simply say we want to be among the best teams offering the best opportunities in college football. We feel like that's what we are. I haven't seen the full list. I don't know what the list is. We want to be on it. And then that's it. That's all he has to do. And I'm telling you, Ketch, if he does that, and I think it's a perfect time to do it because that guy's his quarterback, because he's paying that guy that much to be his defensive coordinator, because he just got that receiver, those two running backs, and you have clearly heard from your sources that they ain't afraid to spend the money. And now all he needs to say is they ain't afraid to be mentioned near the money. And then look out. Then you watch out. Then you tell College Station, Lubbock, Norman, Oregon, Columbus, you tell them all to be careful because that's a monster no one else can match as long as he grabs a hold of it. Just don't be scared, Sark. Grab a hold of it and say, you're damn right. That's what he needs. He needs my phrase. You damn right. Next question.
Hey, Rex. Yeah, that's what we do. We ask questions.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I don't even know, are we bitching about it? Like, we're just talking about it.
Yeah.
Rex, you don't like the media, I don't think.
Nah. He just needs to embrace it, Rex.
Unusual,
Rex, I've always said he just needs to embrace this thing. I've been saying be Texas for a while. Ketch and I have been talking about this phrasing of be Texas for so long. I just think it's about they've got a sword that nobody else has. They need to know when to grab the sword, when to pull the sword, and when to swing the sword. They're kind of in the process of telling people about the sword. Stories are out there about the sword. Sark just needs to let everybody know that, yeah, we're absolutely one of those teams. And for the talented kids out there in high school and in the portal, we would love for them to communicate with us because we feel like we have a great opportunity for them in Austin. Period.
Chad, is the core the reason why A&M is the most dangerous campus in America? Like if you took the core completely out of the equation.
Sandman, I was on that campus. I never felt like I was in danger from the core. The core's numbers at one point were going down. I don't know where the numbers are now. I have never felt like I was in danger because of the core. I've certainly never felt like thugs is a way to describe the core.
Can I make a suggestion that should be taken way too seriously? And by all means, everybody should overreact to it.
Yes, Aggies, pay attention.
Because if nothing, it's definitely a reflection of like my normal behavior. Is it possible? Could be a coincidence. Could be. When did they start letting women into the Corps?
Oh, geez, women into the Corps. I could not tell you the exact year. Women on campus was like late 60s, early 70s.
In the Corps.
In the Corps, I don't know.
Because I feel like it coincides at the same time.
I do know that.
As this dangerous campus rate has gone up, I think it's because they let women in the Corps, and these women are running roughshod all over College Station. It's just a theory.
Catch, I do know that last year was the first time that a woman was head drum major in the band.
Violence.
And they let her hold that big old silver stick thing, so maybe that feels more violent.
I mean, this is exactly the kind of thing that the people in the Corps who wouldn't have wanted women in the Corps, this is what they would have said. Start letting women in. Who cares if they're going to want to vote and everything? The violence goes up. It's all that female violence, hormones and stuff.
Speaking of comments that might get taken seriously by some, from Alan, the Gestapo started as thugs. All right. Okay. All right, Alan. We will move on. 1963, they were allowed to enroll, and then 71, 72 per Google.
I wasn't talking about the full university. I was like in the Corps.
Yeah. Granted full admission in 1971. So I guess that was the Corps?
No, right? Like, isn't the Corps different than getting into the university?
It is different. Yeah. But I would assume, I don't know, maybe somewhere close after that. If it was 1971, maybe a couple years after that. I don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea. Somehow we ended up with weird Aggie Corps history at the end. It is the most dangerous.
1974. Campus. Wow.
74. Hey, year I was born. Catch. So I'm as old as women in the Corps.
Look, let me apologize to the women of College Station.
Okay, please.
Whatever the reason is that suddenly College Station is the most dangerous campus in America, it is not women's fault, apparently. At least not in the Corps.
I definitely agree with that.
Have you guys started having female cheerleaders? Huh?
Yeah, that still hasn't happened. There has not. You're saying if they went to female cheerleaders, that could counteract the danger? Do you think the yell leaders are bringing the danger?
No, I think the cheerleaders could be.
Oh, the cheerleaders could bring the danger. You think it would get more dangerous if they had female cheerleaders?
I'm just loosely trying to find a reason to suggest that women being more involved in activities at Texas A&M is the reason why there's more danger. It's stupid because women don't commit the most crimes. Like, it's just
right. I got you.
I'm way too just not smart for my own good.
Yeah, it's that damn dance team they have out there when the team runs out on the field and the fire shoots.
If we were talking about Baylor, there'd be lots of dancing jokes, even though it's been like 20 years since they could dance.
Yeah. Hey, our man Chris Bennett did throw in a Bryles era Baylor joke during the dangerous discussion, and I appreciated it. I threw it up real quick, and we moved on. But it was well done, CB. It was well done.
Well, once they started allowing break dancing, gang rates just went up.
No.
Violence on campus spread like wildfire with a single waltz at 2
All right, before you get yourself in trouble with even more campuses around the country, why don't we close the show out? Thank you all for liking, subscribing, and getting your notifications. Have a great weekend.
Careful if you're driving through College Station or Snook or Caldwell.
Longhorn fans, you have been warned. The game is in College Station in November. You'd have to go to the most dangerous campus in America. And it might be a night game, Catch. If you think Dallas would be dangerous for Texas OU, what is the most dangerous campus in America going to be like?
The entire Williamson County Police Department needs to travel with Longhorn Nation that night to counteract the seriousness of the occasion.
I don't know if there is enough security. Sandman, we will finish with your words today.
Dude, they get mad at that, Sandman. You cannot even joke about that.
Don't do that. Let's not do that. Let's not get everybody mad for different reasons. Y'all have a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday at noon. This is Orange Bloods Live. See ya.